Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Welcome to Fresno State and the Josephine Theater. My name is Robert Acunto. I'm the Deputy Director of Athletics and currently serving as the Interim Director of Athletics here. Today we're pleased to have members of the media, the Walberg family, and as you can see, many supporters and staff here to welcome our new head coach. Soon you'll be hearing from our president, Dr. Saul
Jimenez.
Sandoval, followed by our new head men's basketball coach, Vance Walberg. Once they are done with their comments, we will open it up to the media, and Frank Kuchar and Josh Mitchell, who I think most of the media knows, will open it up to you to ask questions. And so, without further ado, Dr. Jimenez Sandoval.
Thank you, Rob. And thank you all for being here. This characterizes our community. We come together in a significant way, and we cheer for each other. So I truly thank you for being here today. It's a great day to be a Bulldog. We are here to officially celebrate the appointment of Vance Walberg, the 20th head men's basketball coach at Fresno State. Round of applause, please. There are two main pillars that I see that really characterize Coach Walberg. On the one hand, he has an impressive career within the Valley and across the U.S. as well. He's highly respected as a basketball coach and as a visionary for basketball. That's one pillar. The second pillar is his passion for Fresno State. It's his passion for the Valley. It's his passion for our community. And it's how he's going to revolutionize Fresno State basketball from this point on. Within these two pillars then, crowning it all at the top, is his commitment to excellence and his commitment to our students as well. It is the student experience that's at the heart of all of this, which represents our region to the world, and which represents our Valley in a way that is dignified with this high-octane basketball. That's what we'll be seeing with him. So he's focused on forging our students as leaders within the court and then outside the court. Whom do they become after they graduate? They become ambassadors for Fresno State, specifically for our entire university. He is a Valley native, having graduated from Cal State Bakersfield, our sister university to the south, and he, of course, also played himself. He himself played basketball as well. So with that, I want to give Coach a huge welcome to Fresno State. Please, round of applause for him.
Wow. Hope this thing works. First of all, I appreciate everybody coming here. This is really impressive, and I thank you. Really got to thank President Jimenez Sandoval for giving me this opportunity. I think a lot of you know it's been such a big dream of mine through the years. Being here in the Valley, being here since 1989, watching basketball grow in this area. I'm super excited. I'm very blessed, and I really thank you. I really do. Been very fortunate. God's blessed me in a lot of different ways. Those of you that know me, I think you know there's probably, Saul said there's two pillars, probably two pillars for me. One is family, and that's really important to me. My own family, and then my basketball family, and then those of you that really know me, I think you know basketball is a big part of my life. I'm kind of one of those guys who just lives in the gym, loves to be in shorts, just do my own thing that I love to do. And I'm really happy to be here to be able to do that at Fresno State. I really want to thank all my former players, my former coaches, my fellow coaches, all the people that I've competed against in the Valley and throughout my years. They've helped me become who I am, become where I've gotten to because of that, and I really, really appreciate that. My goal is like anything else. I think those that know me, I hate to lose. Can't sleep at night thinking about it, all those different things. I want to bring Fresno State basketball to the top of the Mountain West Conference. I want to get us into the playoffs and be successful. And I think I'm going to do all I can to do that. I want to get that spirit. I want to get that red wave going again. I want to see Save Mart Arena get to the place to where it's such a great crowd in there, like the old days when Tark used to be here at Seln Arena. Want to really reach out to the former Bulldog alumni and all the boosters there to really be able to sit down, meet with you. I want you to know that my door will always be open, and I would love to have any of the Bulldog alumni come back, visit us, talk to our talk to our current players, and give their experience. My door is always going to be open for that. This week I've had a great opportunity to talk with a lot of the players, the current players right now. I think a lot of some of them are in the portal, been talking to them and trying to convince some of them to come back. And I thought the talks have been great. A lot of them I think are very excited with the way we're going to play basketball. I think you're going to really enjoy the style that we're going to play. And I'm hoping that through this week and next week we can finalize some of those players pulling themselves out of the portal, coming back for us. My assistant coaches have been working really, really hard. I don't know if you know this, 3 weeks before I got the job, 4 weeks before I got the job, I was planning ahead. And I had some coaches that didn't know that they would, if I got the job, they did not know if they were going to, if things didn't work out right. They gave me 3-4 weeks of their time, dedication. We were working on the portal, working on I had some of them at the National JUCO Championships, trying to scout different players. So this isn't something that just happened. This is something that really I've been working on for a long, long time. I think the game has changed. The NIL and the portal, a completely different style, different way from what it used to be. It's exciting in one aspect, it's challenging in another. Obviously, I'm going to really need the support. I've been blessed with, I've had a team of some really good community members that have been helping myself raise some money for the NIL. They know what we got to do, and we're always looking for more, which I'll be out there. Really think you're going to enjoy the style we play. It's going to be a fast pace, pretty good pressure on the ball. It's just the way I love to play. I think you're going to really like it. I know previous teams have really liked it. You're going to see players that are just going to work their tail off. They're going to have a great work ethic out there. You're going to be very proud of our student athletes. One thing I will say, going back to the current student athletes right now, when I had a chance to meet them this week, the one thing that stood out to me the most is just how respectful and how good of young men they were. It was very amazing to see just the way they handled themselves when I was talking with them each for a half hour. I was very, very impressed with them. Really, really enjoyed talking with them. I want to get back to that Green V brand, that Pat Hill, with Coach Hill that started a long time ago. You're going to see me throughout the valley, not only here, but in Fresno, but up and down the whole valley. We've got to be able to get that excitement back, get all the people from from Bakersfield to Merced, Modesto, get them all involved here. And then lastly, I always do this. Whenever I do it, I always forget to thank my family and my wife. So I will not forget them this time. It's been a long journey. You're going to see that with me. It's hard. A lot of people will say I'm a hard you-know-what, and I am. I will push my players to the limits because I want them to get the best they can out of them. When I was with George Karl, Hall of Fame coach, George always talked about the basketball gods. And he always says, if you do things right, you treat the game right, it'll treat you back right. And I'm a real big believer of that. There were stretches through my career, that been very successful. Went down to Pepperdine, not very successful. Went to UMass as an assistant. Then I decided to give the NBA a try. And I don't think a lot of people realize During that time, my wife, and I'm sorry about this, but it's emotional for me, gave me the opportunity. You can think I'm 55 at the time, and I said, hey, babe, I want to try the NBA. She looks at me, okay, what's that mean? So John Welch, who is one of my assistants here, who's a very close friend, gave me, said, hey, come on over here. Did it for nothing. Went there for the Denver Nuggets my first year, didn't get paid a penny. Rented an apartment 20 minutes away from the arena, slept on an arrow bed. Had a table just like this for my dinner table. She stayed back in Massachusetts for 2 years while I was with the Nuggets. Gave me that opportunity, and it kind of opened the door for me to do other things. About once a month, twice a month, she would fly out, and people don't realize doing that for 2 months. So you're never going to make it in this business if you don't have a great family and you don't have that great support, and I definitely have that. And then again, thank you.
Thank you.
I really appreciate
Thank
you
you.
giving me the opportunity.
At this time, we'll open up for questions from our media, and Josh will go ahead.
Hey, Vance, good to see you again.
Thank you.
I just want to ask you, why have you coveted this job for as long as you have, like almost 2 decades?
Well,
What about it?
When you live in the Valley and you're here, Fresno State is everything. You know, the basketball, the football, you talk about all different programs. You know, we don't have a pro sport. This is everybody's main focus. And for me, you know, I was hoping one day to be able to get that. And really, after the last time, I never thought it would happen. So for this dream to come true, it's actually been amazing. But it's just, to me, it's a diamond in the rough. It's something I think that you can really make into a special place. And I know the people here are just dying for really good basketball and excitement.
You alluded to it in your answer, but did you ever think that, you know, given your age and, you know, coaching high school, that you wouldn't get an opportunity to coach like this again at Division I?
You're probably right. No, I'm not going to say that. I mean, again, you know, you're right. How many people are going to have confidence in a 67-year-old high school coach? But if you really peel it back,
Right.
It's a little different from that. You know, how many people have been able to create an offense? How many people have been able to work with NBA teams and so forth? So I'm a little bit more different than a high school in that. But, no, I'm very, like I said, very honored and very pleased with our president.
Coach, over here, obviously being in the high school scene for as long as you have in this area, what are your plans to recruit locally, and have you had any conversations about some of the guys that you've played against recently that you would like to be future Bulldogs?
I got to watch what I say. Remember, I'm still learning all the compliance rules. Is Steve Reed here? Where's Steve? There's Steve back
Steve's
there.
in the back.
Okay, am I okay, Steve? No. No, obviously we're in the process right now, you know. There's I'm not going to say names, but there's some players, you know, that are in college basketball right now that have reached out and so forth, that are in the portal and so forth. So we're in that process right now. Yes, I definitely want to take care of our Valley kids.
And obviously, you know, playing at a high level will get fans to the games and to support this program, but what are some other ways that you're hoping to get people to the Save Mart Center?
Well, the best way, honestly, is for me to get out there and build a foundation from the ground up. It's kind of like what I did at Clovis West. I mean, people that know me at Clovis West, they know what time I get there in the morning, what time I leave at night. It's just, you're building the whole thing. Now, instead of just one little area, I'm doing it in the whole area. You know, I want to build that Bulldog foundation. You know, I want to get, you know, everything that we can to, you know, from one area of the Valley to the next. And I think that's what's going to bring it.
Steven Sanchez, Jimmy Wire Magazine. What I want to ask you was, you've been established for doing an up-tempo offense and everything else. So I was wondering, with this being your first year, are you already going to want to implement that into your first year? Or are you going to try to assess the talent that you got as of right now and try to develop a playbook around the talent that you have as of now?
Very good question. I know my first year at Pepperdine, I tried to put the offense, the defense, and the full court press in all at one time, and I felt it was too much. So I'm definitely going to have a pressure defense, full court press. That's going to be in bits and pieces until I can really see what we have. But again, some of the players that we're looking at right now are looking like they're really going to be a lot more beneficial in an up-tempo pressure type. So you're right. I'm going to see how we assess the players, and we go from there.
Yeah, speaking of the players, but again, first year and everything, dealing with NIL, transfer portal, and everything else, what type of strategies are you going to implement to not only try to bring young kids into the program, but to also want to have them stay within the program as well?
That's the big challenge also. Not only are you recruiting every year, you're recruiting your own players. You know, you got to make sure you take care of them. You got to make sure that they know that you care and that you love them and that they will stay with you. And I'll be honest with you, if we do our job, we're going to lose some players. I mean, if you take player A, take him, get him to a level where he's all the way up here, somebody's going to snatch him and say, hey, there's this much more money for you if you come our way. So it's going to be a give and take. You're going to find that out. And then the other key is for me to find players that are here that are hungry, and we want to bring them in and get them to this level. So it's going to be that combination. I'll be honest with you. I work much better with players that really love the game and want to get better. Those are the type of players that I want to have out there.
You almost led me to my next question, was that in terms of all the experience that you've had, coaching stuff, and all the players that you've had at every level, high school, college, pro, and now here as a Bulldog, what defines, in your opinion, how do you describe it, a Vance Walberg player?
Loves the game, wants to be in the gym, a great representative of your school. That's what I like.
Coach Scott Bemis over here, congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, the narrative will be right, you know, you kind of alluded to it maybe on the national scene about the high school coach getting hired, right? We know that that runs deeper than that, like you talked about. But I'm curious, is there something about coaching at the high school level or the junior college level that you think gives you an advantage at this level?
Scott, it's funny because I've been, like you said, from high school to junior college to Division I to NBA, back to high school. In reality, if you want to know the truth now, the way the portal and the NIL is, it's almost like coaching junior college. Because you're going to have the kids for a year or 2 years. If you get them for more than 2 years, that kid really loves you, or maybe he's not as good as he is, and you're stuck with him. You know, could be one of those combinations. Because if we do our job, they're all going to want to move on and so forth. But honestly, it's going to be a lot like coaching JUCO.
And is there any kind of learning curve for you? I know not with the basketball sense, but just with everything else associated with Division I basketball right now. What's that going to be like, you think?
It's definitely always going to be a learning curve. Anytime you step into any type of job, you know. For me, yes, this morning I talked to one of our film guys, and you know, his job is to have all Mountain West teams, all the film for me ready to go in about 4 weeks. That's what I'll be, the next 4 weeks I don't have time, but that's what I'll be looking at during that time there. It's going to be a learning curve.
Coach, congratulations. I don't have a basketball question, but I do know you can coach, so I can ask Dr. Sandoval, what did you see about Coach Walberg that said this is the guy for the Valley?
What I saw with the coach was this incredible deep-seated passion and love for our Valley. And I saw this thirst and this hunger for excellence that he wanted to contribute to Fresno State as well. But alongside with that, I saw how he clearly sees the student athlete in a holistic aspect. We don't want to just create incredible basketball players. We want to create leaders for the future who are grounded in themselves, in their own history, and are able then to visualize what the future holds for them as contributors to society. So I saw the whole package with the coach.
Thank you.
Coach Jackson Moore, nice to meet you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Growing up here, got to learn your system as a young basketball player, and I'm curious, how does it change when you're able to recruit 7-footers and wings with a lot of height and length that don't necessarily just show up at Clovis Unified schools?
I don't think it changes that much. It just makes it more exciting. I mean, it lets you advance the game the way you like to. Instead of catching the ball here, it's above and it's going down. You know, you're watching athletes just flow. You know, I'm excited to be able to work with some of our players just to see, let them, and that's the beauty of what we do, is I really put the ball in my players' hands. We teach them the basics. We teach them how to play. We don't teach them how to run plays, and let them take full advantage of what their ability is.
Again, like you said, in high school, college, pro, you've been around a lot of programs. From what you've seen, obviously, having coached here for a long time, you've seen, the Bulldog program from grow. How do you compare this program compared to the other ones out in the country?
This program to what other?
To other programs in the country, from what you've seen at the college level and stuff like that. So how do you compare this one in terms of coaching, in terms of style of play and stuff like that?
Well, I think every time you come into a program, you're gonna put your stamp on it, and that's the thing that I want to be able to do, is put Fresno State on the map with the exciting style that we're going to play. Everybody, that's the beauty of basketball. Everybody has their own style, and our style is going to be different from other people, and I think people are going to really enjoy the style that we're going to play.
Vance, do you have NIL money in hand right now?
What do you have in your pocket? I have a really good team that's been working on this, and it's a combination of both. Yes, there's no doubt you're not going to make it in this new environment without having good NIL support.
Well, can you talk a little bit about the deficit that Fresno State needs to make up in that area compared to other?
We're going to get after. We're going to. There may be a deficit now, but it's not going to stop us. I got a team that I think we're going to catch up to a lot of them.
Coach Doc Lewis, KFSR. My question is, if we're going to bring, do we have a good marketing in place to bring folks to the Save Mark Center, to bring the fans out, to get them here? And my second question is the running gun. You're going to be running and gunning. That's the style of play.
First question, marketing. I do have some really good people helping us with that. But again, the best market is going to be the type of kids we bring in, the style we play, and then working from the ground up with all the different communities. I think that's the biggest thing. Because what you want to do is if I can build that ground up from all the communities throughout this throughout the valley, then they're going to be there. They're going to see the excitement. And that's what I want to be able to do. The run and gun, we just call it the dribble drive. We're going to find our shots. We're going to be, like I said, put the ball in our best players' hands, let them create, and we'll go from there. But it is a style of that.
Coach, can you take us through some of the additions to your staff and who will be joining you and who you've already added so far?
Okay, I do have one staff member back from last year, Nate Leal, our D-Ops. I've heard tremendous things about Nate. Nate, where are you? I'm here. He's back there. I learned a long time ago, you better have somebody to get you around. Should I tell them the story about our first name?
Why not? Yeah, sure.
Okay. My kids would tell you straight up, I'm not the best in directions. Far from it.
Like two of us. I think.
So, yeah, you talking about, oof. So I made the first round, got the second round. Now I'm supposed to meet President Amanda Sandoval and get the thing, and I look at my paper, and it says, see you at the Marriott on Shaw. So I'm there 20 minutes early, no problem waiting in. I go at 3:25, go inside 3:25, nobody's there. I'm looking around, and I call Steve Reed. Steve, where are you? You're at the wrong Marriott. And it was the longest 15 minutes of my life.
To get from point A to
driving
point B.
from one Marriott to the other. So I walked in, and I mean, my hand still hurts a little bit from hitting the door. And I shook the president's hand. I said, I guess I'm down 10 with 2 to go, but here we go. You know? But, so having Nate's going to help me a lot. Okay?
Full circle.
One coach I really want is a super good friend of mine. His name's John Welch. John, where are you? John's back there. John was here when Coach Tark was here the first time. I met John then. Basketball, Benny. We used to play hoop in my backyard all the time. We'd be in my gym. We would play a ton. Loves the game. He's a lot like myself. Went from college, was 20 years in the NBA, one of the best workout coaches, one of the best basketball minds. Just loves the game. He's going to be a great addition. He was at Kentucky this last year with Coach Cal, and I was lucky enough to be able to bring him this way. So I'm really pleased. Thank you, John, so much. We have Ray Barfield back there. Ray is a local. Ray was at Hoover High back in, I think, was it 88, 89? Ray was at, yep, 88, 89. Went on and played college basketball. Very successful. Knows the southern section. Knows the whole West Coast with recruiting. He's going to be really, really good for us, and I appreciate having Ray. Also added back there, Jaron, raise your hand. Okay, Jaron Harris. He's coming from New Mexico State. He was one of the ones who gave 5 weeks before I even got the job and said, Coach, I believe in you, and did a lot of things. Him and Chris Stahowski, and Chris is not here today. Chris Stahowski was a former player of mine, a JUCO coach, and so forth. And those two, like I said, for 4 weeks, went around, did a lot of different scouting and recruiting for me in case I did get the job, and I really appreciate that. And then I'm also going to bring John's son, Riley Welch. Riley's going to be a volunteer with us, helping us, and I'm excited that way. We're going to have a really good staff.
Hey, Coach Walberg, Stephen Hicks from ABC 30. Congratulations.
Thank
My
you.
one question, you mentioned Coach Tarkanian, and I think a lot of people in this room remember those full Selland arenas.
Yeah.
But for someone who was coaching down the street, what do you think led to that success of having the community come out like that?
Tark was Tark. You know the way he was. He'd chew on that towel. People just loved him wherever he would walk. He came to Fresno State with the national championship, so I mean he was very impressive. But just the way he was, and he just honestly, it didn't matter where he was, what he did. He just loved coaching basketball. He was a San Joaquin Memorial guy and so forth. And for me, honestly, I would love to see the same. I love to see that same energy, fill up the Save Barn Arena and get that going.
We'll take 2 more questions.
Hi, Coach.
Hi.
Alexis, congratulations.
Thank you.
You just mentioned a lot of the staff that will be on your team this upcoming season. Is there something you specifically looked in these people, a certain amount of experience or a certain playing style that you wanted to be able to support you next season?
Well, the first one, and it's always going to be the most important, is going to be loyalty. I've learned that a long time ago. I want staff members that, one, are going to be super loyal to myself and to the school, and two, that just have a passion of wanting our players to make them better and to try and make our Fresno State basketball community the best they can. And I think we have a really good group of young men that are doing that.
Coach Walberg, Gabe Camarillo, Fox 26. I noticed Calipari said good things about you. Nate Oates said good things about you. George Karl. Why is the dribble drive offense so universally used by coaches? And it's one that obviously you have manufactured.
I think it's used because it gives your players the best opportunity for them to showcase what they have. Again, like I said earlier, we're going to work hard in practice. They're going to learn a lot of different things. I'll stop in and practice and work and teach them the way that I want the game to be played. But when the game begins, I tell them, I don't want them looking over to me. What do I do? They're the ones who now are in control, and they're the ones who are going to be able to make the play. So think about it. If you're a player and you want to go to a certain school and they're going to say, be here, run this spot, run this, go there, do that, or if you can take the ball and get to the rack, you're a great shooter and you want to be able to get your shots, I think I would rather come our way.
That'll conclude it for our press conference. Both Dr. Sandoval and Coach Walberg will be available for one-on-ones with the media. I expect to meet with myself or Josh or Walter in that process. Thank you all for being here today.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Can I get thanks from people?